go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
What's going on? It's Illusive here. I hope you guys liked the intro scene. I used a new camera and shit, so hopefully that was pretty fun for you guys. But we're back in another video today and kind of talking about the fact that I own two RSXs, why I do, what got me into the RSX to begin with, and kind of like a little bit of everything. What's it like owning, two RSXs in 2023? So currently I'm in my 2006 Acura RSX 5-speed manual base model. I got this car, I kind of told you the story in the first video about this, but not all of you guys are returning viewers, of course. So I got this car from my brother for my 16th birthday when I first got my license. So I've had the car for 4 years now. My brother gifted it to me, and I've been forever grateful since that day. This car kind of got me into a lot of things. It helped me through a lot, and it's just been there for me through everything. So this car has definitely been a huge part of my life, especially the RSX platform in general. I like the platform, I like Honda, I like everything that a lot of people are doing with Hondas and stuff, especially the 2000s Hondas. This definitely is my favorite 2000s era Honda. Like, I know you have the EG hatch, you have, the CRX, you have all of them bigger name Hondas, I would say. But this one is by far my favorite. I've never owned the rest, but by far I feel like the RSX is my favorite Honda from the 2000s era, even ever, I would say. So yeah, with owning this car for 4 years now, I have kind of a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of experience with a lot of things, but I have a lot of knowledge on how what things are tendency to break first, and just a lot of other things that the average person wouldn't know owning two RSXs. So we'll go into it more when I be good in the red RSX, but right now, as you know, we're in the silver RSX. So the base 5-speed manual, it's the one that everyone rips on. It's the one that everyone wants to make fun of for whatever reason, because it's a 5-speed, it's a base model. Whatever. My opinion on it is this car is still awesome, even with owning a Type S. I still love driving this thing. I don't see why people want to hate on the base models so much. This engine literally came in the Civic Si, so I really don't know the reasoning for people being so upset about it coming with the K20 A3. This car is amazing. It's not fast. No Honda is fast. Not even the Type S really is fast. The Type S comes with 200 horsepower from factory. This thing comes with like 150, 160, something like that. And really, it isn't that much noticeable difference. The biggest noticeable difference is the red limiter. This one revs at, red line's at 6.75 or whatever, and the Type S revs at 8. So really, the only difference is the rev limiter. And personally, I tell you what, it's fucking awesome revving it to 9K and shit, but do I really do it every day? Technically yes, but not really. So really, it's just one of those things that is a hit or miss, I feel like. With my 4 years of ownership of this thing, I've had very, very minimal problems. The only problems I've had that were pretty major were the rear brakes seized up on me. So the rear brakes seized up on me about 2 maybe years ago, and then I replaced them with AutoZone calipers, because that's all I could find at the time. And then those seized up on me because they're AutoZone remanufactured calipers and they're junk. So tip to the wise, don't buy remanufactured calipers if you can. Spend the extra 20, 40, 50, 100 bucks. It doesn't matter. I'd rather spend 100 bucks extra to make sure my rear brakes work. So the main reason why that happened was the e-brake mechanism in this car hooks up to a separate part of the caliper in the rear. So that tends to fail, and when that fails, the whole caliper seizes pretty much. That's kind of how that works. When people remanufacture them, they don't put the seals in correctly. And yeah, I mean, this is almost a 20-year-old car. I mean, it's damn near 18 years old right now. Damn near as old as me. So that tells you kind of how frequently things break, not very often. I recently just placed the throwout bearing. You guys saw that in the previous video. If you guys didn't see it, make sure you guys check it out after this, or now, or whenever you want to. But I replaced the throwout bearing because I had the clutch was feeling iffy. I thought it was the clutch, so it was not the clutch from my knowledge. Now, the throwout bearing does still make noise when the car sits for more than a week and a half. That's the only thing I've really noticed. Past that, really have no issues. And I guess other things I've had problems with, it's just common stuff you would assume from a 18-year-old car. I mean, I've had rock chips in the front bumper. Really, past that, this car mechanically has been amazing. The engine has been running strong, as you can see, 236,000 miles. I mean, seeing a car nowadays get that, it would be kind of incredible. Then again, I don't rip on this car too much. Like I said, when this was my only car back in the day, like a year and a half ago, I would ride it a little harder than I do now, but now I kind of baby the shit out of this thing because I like it so much, and I don't want any problems. I plan on doing a valve adjustment here soon before winter, so stay tuned for that. But like I said, this thing has been running great ever since I took ownership of it. I really haven't had any major problems, just minor stuff here and there. Obviously, the rear caliper locking up was an issue on its own part, but that was because of bad parts being put on afterwards. It happened again. So, but yeah, like I said, this car really mechanically and physically, I've always loved it. The biggest problem I hated about this car was the fact that it's obviously the Wisconsin car. I live in Wisconsin, so the fact that every single quarter panel on this car, every single panel pretty much has rust on it, is the shittiest part. But that is also why I bought a Type S from Florida, so you guys will see that later in the video. But this car, unfortunately, has a lot of rust. It's been a Wisconsin car its entire life. Unfortunately, fixing rust, if a lot of you know, isn't the easiest and cheapest thing you can be doing, especially with a car in Wisconsin. Pretty much you drive it one time in winter, especially something like this where it's old and it's common to have thrown issues with the fenders and everything else. There is a lot of Hondas just like the same, like a lot of CRXs rust out from the bottom up. I mean, it's a common thing in Wisconsin. It's nothing new. But unfortunately, it did happen to this car, and it's just way too much money to fix it. I think the only way you can really fix rust is cutting out the panels and putting new ones in. But even then, you drive it 1 year in winter again, and it's screwed. So that's why the red RSX would never see a day in winter. It'll always be in a garage. Unfortunately, that's the way it works in Wisconsin. But hey, you do what you got to do when it comes to keeping your car clean. So the Florida RSX Type S will never be touching fucking a single grain of salt in this state. Never see snow from a garage unless it's in a garage. But yeah. And the funny thing is, the fact that this car really doesn't have that many miles is because you go on Facebook, you'll see all this crazy stuff on Reddit. You have RSXs going to 400,000 miles, stock engine, transmission. I mean, this car has a stock engine, factory engine, factory transmission, factory clutch, never been replaced on any three of those, which is pretty incredible, I think, especially because I learned how to drive manual in this car, so I'm surprised I didn't fuck it up. But I am the fourth owner from what I'm aware of. And then obviously the only thing I've really added to this car, or only thing that's really not factory, is, as you can obviously see, the detachable steering wheel. I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of the detachable steering wheels, quick release, whatever. But it was in the car. My brother had it too. He had it with the quick release. The person who owned it before him cut out a bunch of the harness here, so basically trying to put it back to stock would cost more than it's worth, so we kind of just kept it at quick release steering wheel. And then when he gifted me the car, he also gave me this steering wheel, so I've always kept it on here. It's kind of been just a memorabilia pretty much. But other than that, the car is 100% stock. It's got a short shifter on it, catback exhaust, so pretty much the common things past, you know, most people do on a Honda or any other car. Exhaust, catback Yonaka, catback exhaust, which is what I think is one of the best daily exhausts. I would never buy it again because the quality on it is not the greatest. If I would ever buy another exhaust for this car, it would be the NVIDIA Q300. It's the same tone, everything, it's just a better build quality, so I recommend that exhaust if you're ever going to buy an exhaust. The resonator rattles in this thing, so unless you have brand new exhaust mounts, they're polyurethane. Unless you have brand new ones, the resonator will rattle on you after a year. That's exactly what mine did. I was pretty upset about it as I bought the exhaust brand new, but shit is what it is. We're going to a picture spot here, so I'm going to get some quick flicks of the silver RSX. I haven't done that in like a ridiculous long time because the red RSX kind of stole the show. But yeah, past that, we're going to be taking some pictures, and then we'll be jumping into the red RSX after that. But interior-wise, this car has been my favorite Honda interior-wise. I mean, it feels like a Supra almost, not to the extent of the Supra obviously, but it kind of feels like a Supra based on how everything is angled towards you, the climate control, all the buttons are angled towards you, everything is so close to the driver. It's very driver oriented, and this car is technically my daily. This is my only car I drive in winter. I only have two cars, both RSXs and then the bike you guys saw in previous videos, but the bike obviously you don't drive in winter. That'd be a fucking mistake. So this car will be my only car this winter again. It's going to be the true test to see how durable this car is going to be for winter again. I just use it for work, but this car has been nothing but amazing my whole ownership, so I doubt that it'll be a problem. This car really does stick out in Wisconsin. It's pretty unique, I think. I've only seen maybe 3-4 RSXs in like the 50-mile range of me. Not to say that there aren't more, but there definitely are more. But I've only seen, you know, a handful throughout my 4 years of owning this thing. So I can't imagine there are a crazy amount here, which is becoming more rare. These things are becoming more rare. So yeah, we're going to be at the picture spot here soon. Some dead-end fucking road. Some little hillbillies. Alright, so now I'll hit you guys back when we're in the red RSX, and we'll do a little bit of a drive in the red RSX, and then tell you about some of the Type S and some of the Type S plans and stuff, so we'll get into that now. We are in the red RSX Type S, so I will include both stories when I introduce this car and then when I introduce the silver RSX in the channel. I'll put both of those videos in the description, so that way I don't ramble too much on the same stuff that I've already mentioned 18 different times. So if you're interested on the story of when I bought this, all that stuff, be sure to check out those videos in the description. It just saves me a lot of time and saves you guys a lot of time too. Well, anyway, so I did buy this car in Florida, from Tampa, Florida, in last year. So 1 year ago in 4th of July weekend. I really don't drive this car enough. I have a lot of plans for it, but currently as it sits, I don't drive it a whole lot, which unfortunately, I love this thing. This thing is a real eye catcher, I think. It's very, very clean. I bought it from a guy who really took care of this thing, and he really cared about it. So right now, all I've done to the car was added a Pexi N1 exhaust, doubled in radio. I've added black interior, as these cars come with tan. This guy's gonna cut me off. He did. They come with tan, so I put black interior in it. Type R steering wheel, Type R center console, Type R shift knob, Type R e-brake. Other than that, the car is 100% stock, double-din radio, Type R wing. So a lot of cosmetics so far. This year I plan on putting a K24 swap in, so we'll be on the lookout for that after this semi rear ends me. Just kidding. Yeah, I love this exhaust though. Very, very good. It's a little louder than most. I will kind of open it up for you in a minute here. Fucking backfires even without a tune, anything like that. You can let off the gas and it's just going, oh, you guys can fucking hear it. It's fucking awesome. Anyway, I'll put the windows up so it doesn't make a fucking really terrible noise. But yeah, so I really don't see the slander between the base and the Type S. Why does everybody say that the base is garbage? I get it. The base model does not have VTEC. I get it. It has economy. I get it. I understand. I understand hitting VTEC is awesome. Like my first time hitting VTEC, it was fucking awesome. I won't lie. I probably had the fucking time of my life on the on-ramp taking this car home, hitting VTEC for the first time. Like hell yeah, it was awesome. But not to say that I don't love my silver RSX any more than this thing. They both hold a, I guess, sentimental value in my heart anyway, so it doesn't really count that way. But yeah, like I said, a lot of this stuff is stereotypes. Like people shit on the base model so much that no one wants one. It's just like, why would you do that? That's terrible. That's just whatever. But yeah, these things come from the factory, 200 horsepower. The only difference between the base model and the RSX, the base model and the Type S, I should say, is the engine and transmission. The engine is a K20Z1 paired with a 6-speed transmission in the Type S, and then the base 5-speed obviously has a 5-speed transmission paired with the K20 A3, which is the more economy version of whatever, the more economy version, which it really isn't that much more economy, but whatever you want to say. It doesn't have real VTEC. That's the reason people hate on it. But I've always loved the RSX in general. I don't really hate on base or Type S, whatever you want to call it, dude. I don't really care. Sorry, that was my little rant for the day. Other things people say about the RSX platform that I think is really a myth too is the suspension. People rip on the suspension a lot, saying it's a terrible ride and stuff. It really is not that bad. Like I've driven in way worse cars, way worse rides. The RSX stock, I mean, without coilovers, with the factory suspension, is a lot better than most vehicles that I think of. It's not an SUV, like I said, it's not an SUV. It's not gonna damper all these hard fucking bumps in the road. It's a sport coupe. It's literally what do they call it? It's a sport coupe. So it's gonna handle more rough. People don't understand that when they get into these kind of cars. It's not gonna handle like your fucking mom's CRV, you know. It's gonna have a little more stiffness to it. People get into the thing it's gonna be a Corolla or something. It's like, nah, dude. These things handle like fucking track cars. This car handles actually a little worse because the rear strut is leaking. It kind of started leaking on the way home from Florida. It's kind of a long drive, so yeah, that's the only real thing. And other than that, these cars I really think are really iconic, just how they look and stuff too. They've always been a very good looking Honda. But yeah, revving the 8K on this thing is fucking awesome. I mean, there's really not another car like this in the Honda line. Maybe the S2000, but even that, I mean, these things are so light, nimble. They're really a driver's car. You gotta kind of be in one to experience it. But like I said, I do have a lot of plans for this car. I will be talking about that soon. That guy's a CRZ. I'm really jealous. Other than that, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of plans for this car. I want this car to be my forever car that I own forever. So I'm kind of taking things slower. I don't want to just... if I really, really, really wanted to, I could throw the K24 and I could boost this thing tomorrow. If I really wanted to, I could do that. I could do all that. But really, I'm trying to space things out just so I don't get bored of it and so it's more of a journey. Because otherwise, I mean, you're gonna have, oh cool, you have a K24 boosted RSX, now what? Like, where do you go from here? I mean, it's like, I kind of want to work up to things I want to do this car. So kind of spoiler alert, K24, you guys knew that already. But we are headed to another picture spot. But yeah, I really don't drive this thing enough. When I bought the car, it had 150,000 miles on it. Or 149,000. Now it's got 152. So I've only driven it 3,000 since I owned it. So that's really not that much. I try to drive as much as I can, but usually it's pretty shitty weather here in Wisconsin, so I don't usually get to drive it all the time. I can't drive it to work because at work I get off late, or I go to work early and there are deer around here, and if a deer hits this car, I will literally don't know what I would do. So basically I don't drive it in the bewitching hours of deer for that reason. If you don't live in Wisconsin, you wouldn't understand. But if you do, I'm sure you exactly know what I'm talking about. There are deer running around. I feel like they're fucking deer run around this state like they own the place, pretty much, and it really is a problem. And even with all people deer hunting, they still run around here like they fucking own the place, pretty much, and it's terrible. I mean, people total their cars every other week. It's terrible. Thankfully I've never totaled a car, to a deer, but. Not to say I would never, because it's pretty common nowadays, especially on back roads and stuff. I mean, a lot of deer like to sit around and fuck around in back roads. It's terrible. It's terrible. I like living in Wisconsin a lot, but there are, like I said, every single state has their downfall. It's like living in Oklahoma. You got tornadoes and shit, and it's the same thing here. You got winter. You got deer running around. I could complain all I want, but it's better. I think it's better than tornadoes. So. Tornado Valley, it's better than that shit, I think, but everyone has their own thing. Ooh, that's a fucking pothole and a half. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this thing definitely fucking rips when especially with the N1 exhaust on, dude. Sorry, I had the windows open. I was just jamming. We do a little bit of a pull here. We're already going over the speed limit, but this thing is just fucking mauling, dude. We're gonna get back to the house here in a minute, and then I'm kind of gonna end the video with a little summary, and that'll be pretty much it. But we're gonna rip a little while with the red RSX yet, because I haven't driven this car enough, and I feel bad if I don't drive it. So the best part about the exhaust, it's like, it feels like a valved exhaust, in the fact that when you're on the throttle, this thing is like a fucking missile going down, and when you hop off, when you hop off the throttle, the thing is just quiet as shit. I mean, look at it right now. This thing sounds like a stock RSX. And you hop on the throttle, the thing fucking goes, ah! It fucking levels up real quick. It's kind of funny, actually, but it's awesome, because when the cops go by, they hear a giant missile go by, and then when you drive by, it's nothing. It's awesome. All right, let's rip one here. Oh, that was a big one. Yeah, I usually skid like the fuck out of these tires when I'm in a turn like that. It's just because they don't grip. They grip for shit. Some like coom hose. What the fuck is going on here? All right, buddy, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's turn the wheel here. Jesus Christ. Some motherfuckers. That's the other thing that's nice about the RSX is I'm really short. I'm only 5'6", so I fit in this car almost perfectly. People that are taller than me don't fit very great in this car. So, especially in the back, like if you got passengers in the back who are tall, they're gonna hate you forever. On the bike, this road is amazing. Oh, I don't like this turn. Alright, this is my favorite road. wish they redid this road. It'd be so nice. Like, it's so nice in fall with all the colors and shit on this road too. Right now we're not really in fall yet, we're just in the beginning, but you see some of the trees turning orange and shit, but not all of them. Yeah, sometimes I rip down these roads pretty quick, but I don't know. You never know what's going to be around the corner, and you can't stop fast enough. So yeah, I like that road a lot. I call it the mini tail of the dragon, if any of you heard of that. But anyway, I will see you guys at the house, and we'll do a final wrap up of the video. Alright, so that's pretty much going to be the video today. Thanks you guys for checking it out. We got pretty much like a family picture right here. We got a family picture right here. Look at that shit. Got the bike, the 2 RSXs. We got the 4-cylinder trio right here. We got 12 cylinders and 3 vehicles. Isn't that crazy? Fuckers come with 12 cylinders from factory. But anyway, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Any questions you guys have on RSXs or whatever in general, let me know in the comments. I'm not an expert by any means. I'm still a novice. I'm only 20 years old. So shout out to everybody who's been here throughout the way and stuff. And we will see you guys next one. Adios, motherfuckers.
They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense. They hate when I keep dreaming I'll be famous, but I don't give a fuck, I'ma keep chasing. I got all this potential that's deep inside of me, but they hate when you're successful cause they try to be. They sit there being just meant to